2020 has been an interesting and heartbreaking year for most. Most of our plans have been put on pause or canceled altogether this year with no sure end in sight. It's our 20th year of hosting Disability Mentoring Day, so we knew, COVID or not, we had to keep pushing forward with hosting our biggest event of the year to try and bring that magic into your classrooms. We are hopeful for the future, and we know we will get through this pandemic. While we can't take you to some of our usual employers to give you the experience of working in either a new industry or maybe even working for the first time ever, we are hopeful these videos will serve as a good substitute. We have created a series of videos that range from guest speakers, a skit, and interviews with employers to try and give you the best DMD we can give you with the situation we are given. We hope these videos will inspire you to work towards your own goal of being employed within your community, or at least provide you with a good laugh. So sit back and relax, maybe grab a snack, and welcome to Pillar's first and hopefully last virtual DMD.
And I'm an employment specialist at Prairie Independent Living Resource Center.
My name is Cindy Daniels, and I'm the employment coordinator here at Pillar.
My name is Heather Jones. I'm the independent living coordinator here at Pillar.
Hi, my name is Adam Fortna. I am an independent living specialist here at Pillar.
I'm Nicole Scott. I'm an independent living specialist here at Prairie Independent Living Resource Center.
I am Debbie Gertz. I am the county coordinator in the Hutchinson office.
I am Andy Reichart. I'm the Assistant Director here at Prairie Independent Living.
My name is Erica Rivera, and I'm the Executive Director here at Prairie Independent Living Resource Center.
I assist with employment programs and computers and do a lot of additional things around the office.
My job is to help individuals that are referred to me from the Vocational Rehabilitation Department find employment.
Independent living services allow individuals to create their own goals, work towards those goals to become more independent and successful in the community.
What I do is we do also help people look for employment, apply for SSI, SSDI, apply for cane care, food assistance, budgeting, peer support, any goal that they want to set with us, we try to help them achieve it.
My favorite part of DMD.
My favorite memory of DMD.
One of my favorite memories.
Favorite DMD moment? Actually, I have two moments.
My favorite memories from DMD.
Oh, I have several, but I think in general my favorite memories are...
Probably my favorite memory from DMD.
My favorite, I don't have a favorite specific memory, but every year I tend to drive one of the vans that drop off you guys at the employers. And I love talking with everyone on the way there and the way back, hearing about all of your fun adventures.
I enjoyed taking the students to their designated place, rather if it was Hadley Daycare or the Cosmosphere, and just watching them and their excitement when you pick them up.
Yeah, I guess it's just the excitement that the kids have. They feel like it's a special day for them and they learn a lot.
When the students come back.
When the kids come back and tell their stories.
Hearing the youth come back and discuss their employment experiences, what they've learned, and how much fun they had while they were there.
And that is when the students get up on stage after they've come back from job shadowing and talk about what they have done. We get all kinds of crazy, funny stories.
And what they liked or what they didn't like tells me that they're engaged and are really enjoying being a part of DMD.
And the kids learn a lot about other businesses that maybe they didn't choose, but think about choosing the next year to do.
So my first favorite moment would be the first year of DMD. my Uncle Roger was here, and our executive director kind of came to him and was like, hey, have you heard of this Disability Mentoring Day? And he said, no, but send me the information and we'll make it happen. That was 20 years ago, and that event was extremely special to me because it was our very first one, so everything was new. We didn't know what we were going to do. We started with one school and held it at our center, so it wasn't a lot of people, but just the impact that one day, that first day had, propelled us into having DMD for 20 plus years.
I've been here for 13 years, so just watching it grow over the years has always been exciting to watch.
My second favorite moment would probably be the year that I was able to step into my uncle's place and help kind of do more and facilitate the DMD. So those are my favorite moments. My piece of advice for you would probably be, before you go into the workforce, make sure to be prepared.
Always go prepared.
Just being a little bit prepared.
I think my best piece of advice is prepare.
If you have an interview, research the company you're going for.
Before you attend an interview, you should look up the business that you're applying for, learn a little bit about it.
Find out what they do, what kind of work they are involved in, and how well you would suited to meet the skill sets for that particular career opportunity.
So when the question comes up, what do you know about us? You have more to say than I don't know.
I have been to many, interviews where I was not prepared and they did not go so well. So make sure to prepare.
Make sure that you have, references that you've talked to that are going to give a good reference when they call about you, and to follow up on that interview 2 or 3 days later.
My best piece of advice is dress for success.
And also, I would suggest just cleanliness, personal hygiene, dress for the best, because I do believe that does help with the employment hiring.
Do something that you like. You'll do a better job if you're doing something that you enjoy doing.
Hello everyone, my name is Angela Frazier with the State of Kansas Pre-Employment Transition Services Program, or PREETS. In 2014, Pre-Employment Transition Services were authorized under the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, or WIOA. PREETS is part of Vocational Rehabilitation Services, or VR, and will assist in the transition from PREETS to VR services if desired. As transition specialists, we work with students aged 16 to 21 to create a plan to introduce and develop pre-employment skills. PREETS is designed to provide an early start to job exploration and to assist students with disabilities in making the transition from secondary to post-secondary education and training and/or competitive integrated employment. We work with our students to get them familiar with the things they will need to know to make a successful transition from high school to life after high school. We work with local high schools and will often meet our students at the schools, but PREETS does not and cannot take the place of any school activity. We are an additional resource, that extra voice helping youth discover their skills and abilities, develop their interests, figure out what they like to do, and can they do it as a job. We help our students discover what they want and can do and how to achieve their goals. Criteria for participating in PREETS services include the following. The student is 16 to 21 years of age. The student is in a secondary, post-secondary, or other recognized education program. The student is eligible for and receiving services under an IEP or 504 plan, or the student is an individual with a disability as defined by Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act, and the student is a resident of Kansas. Students agree to meet with their PREETS specialist at least every other month and stay in contact every month through phone, text, email, or mail. Now I'll give you a brief description of each of the 5 PREETS services. Job exploration counseling is the first service on the plan. Job exploration involves figuring out what kind of jobs the students would like to do. We do interest inventories and skills assessments and explore labor market information. Pre-ed staff will not say a student can't do something, but we will keep it realistic. We help lead them through the job exploration process, guiding them using the tools, information, and resources necessary to make an informed choice. The expected outcome for this service is for the student to decide on one or more jobs or careers for after high school. Instruction in self-advocacy is next. Simply put, self-advocacy is the ability to speak up for yourself. Pre-ETS helps our students learn and practice self-advocacy skills by helping them learn about their disability, learn to make their own decisions and choices, and learn to express their wants and needs in appropriate ways. Many young people can't describe their disability, and it's important they can so they know what kind of accommodations or modifications they may need and how to ask for them. It's also important they know what their rights and responsibilities are under the ADA, IDEA, and Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act. We provide opportunities for our students to begin making their own decisions, even if it's something seemingly small, like what pre-ETS activity they would like to work on. The expected outcome for this service is a student will be able to communicate understanding of their disability along with their needs and goals in employment and/or post-secondary education. Workplace readiness training is the next available service. Workplace readiness is basically anything having to do with finding and keeping a job. How do you job search? How do you find those jobs that aren't advertised? We work with our students on completing applications, building resumes, and learning interview skills. Our students learn about important soft skills like being on time, keeping a schedule, and how to talk to and get along with bosses and coworkers. We can also work on independent skills. This can be things like building money management and cash handling skills, deciding whether to live alone or with a roommate, how to talk to a landlord, what are tenant and landlord rights and responsibilities, how do you set up utilities, and many other things that even experienced adults may not think of. The expected outcome for this service is for the student to demonstrate an understanding of the steps to obtaining and maintaining employment. Counseling on comprehensive transition or post-secondary education is next on our list. This skill set comes down to life after high school and helps answer questions like, does the job you want require a degree or a certificate or on-the-job training? Are there on-the-job training programs that will give you a leg up on the competition? What does the school or training program require? What does it cost and how do you pay for it? Are there disability resources available at the school or training program location? How do you find out and how do you ask for assistance? What happens if you're in school or a training program and your program is suddenly no longer available? How do you transfer those credits you've already earned? The expected outcome for this service is the student will be able to identify the education or training required in order to obtain their desired career choice. Work-based learning experiences is the fifth available service. Work-based learning experiences are things like job shadows and mock interviews. Pre-ETS staff will conduct mock interviews and can try to engage employers in providing structured learning experiences for students and can try to find local business people who will allow our students to shadow and see what a job is really like. And because our students can get too comfortable with us in practicing interviews, we can try to engage those business people in providing a real-life interview experience. Pre-ETS also has a paid work-based learning experience, which is an opportunity for students who meet additional criteria. There is an approval process for the paid work-based learning experience. The expected outcome for this service is for the student to demonstrate an understanding of how to obtain and maintain employment. If you are interested in participating in Pre-ETS services or have any questions about the program, you can contact me by calling or texting 785-213-5611 or email me at angela.frazier@ks.gov. And that's ANGELIA.FRAZIER@ks.gov. Thank you for listening, and I hope to hear from you soon. Take care.
Hi, I'm Adam Fortna. I am an independent living specialist here at Pillar, and I help people with disabilities find employment.
Here at Pillar, we've helped thousands of consumers find employment. And we know a thing or two about how to find a job. One thing we've noticed is how easily an interview can go horribly wrong. You may think you're charming, or that your resume speaks for itself.
But let me tell you something. We all have different ideas of what is ready. So let me go over a few of the do's and don'ts of the interview process.
Hey, I'm ready for that interview.
Let's take our consumer and get him ready for the interview. We're going to go over the do's and don'ts of the interview process. Let's start with the don'ts. We can see by business standards our consumer is what we like to call dressed down.
These are my nicest, comfiest pants.
You don't want to dress down. You do want to dress up. You may think this is just a job in food service. I don't need to dress up. But let me tell you, mister, it is a good thing to show initiative and dress up on your interview. It's going to show that employer you really want this job. And you're going the extra mile.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
While we're in the appearance part of this video presentation, the next do is do practice good hygiene. You see, if your hair's all messy, you smell or have bad breath, and you haven't brushed your teeth in a while, maybe it's time to do that. If you have trouble having access to some of those things, Pillar can help you out.
I do feel a lot more confident. I think I'm ready for this interview.
Well, not quite ready.
What? I thought this is all I needed to do to have a successful interview.
It's a process. There's only 99 more steps to go.
No!
Now, just a second, because I've got to figure out how to get down from here. Oh! Remember when we were at the copier earlier today? That wasn't just to show you I know how to copy things. That was a visual representation of one of our first do's. Do make copies of your resume for the employer.
But if they already have my resume and my application on file, then why would I need to bring extras? Wouldn't that be counterproductive?
Quite the opposite, actually, because the people who saw your resume at first aren't necessarily the people who are going to be interviewing you. If you bring copies, sometimes there will be multiple people interviewing you, like 5 or even 6. So, bringing multiple copies of your resume not only shows that you're prepared, it also lets those employers know who you are and what you're good at.
Can I be honest with you? My resume's not that good, and it doesn't have much on it. Should I add some things on it to make me look better?
No! See, an employer can fact check anything you put on your resume or your application. As a matter of fact, that brings us to our next don't. Don't lie on your application or your resume. You see, it doesn't matter if your resume looks like this or this. It only matters that you're truthful. Some employers actually prefer that you have less experience because then they can mold you into the person they want you to be. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. I should bring my resume so that show that I'm prepared, and I shouldn't lie, and I should always be truthful.
You're getting it!
So I'm all clean. I have my resume. What's the next do's and don'ts?
You're all finished. You've got it all.
Really?
No, you silly. There's still so much more we need to learn. But hold that thought.
So I think I'm ready enough for my interview. What else can be done?
Practice. Whether it's your first time or your millionth time interviewing, it's always good to get a little bit of a practice session in.
So, like, what do you mean? Like, talking into a mirror?
Just go right through this door and all your questions will be answered.
Let me guess, you're going to be on the other side, right?
You'll just have to wait and see. You were right!
So now we just go through some common interview questions. I feel like I could have done that in a mirror, actually.
You know what? You have a point there. Only problem is, you just showed me you're a noob at interviewing by the way you walked in and then slouched.
What do you mean? I'm sitting like a normal person. This is how I sit.
Well, you see, in an interview, you always want to offer to shake the person's hand. You didn't do that. On top of that, you're sitting all willy-nilly. You should be sitting straight up, you silly person.
Okay, so maybe I do need to practice a little bit more. What is the do before an interview?
So the do's are, do practice good social skills. You see, when you are interviewing, you want to make sure you offer a handshake to everyone who's interviewing you. On top of that, you want to sit up straight. Make sure you're being professional. You always want to show a smile. That way, instead of looking like a creep, you look like a professional, nice young lad. Also, don't forget to answer all the questions appropriately.
What do you mean?
Well, you see, when you're answering the questions, sometimes they may ask questions that are only one-syllable answers needed. You don't want to say something like, yeah, bro, or, yeah. You want to say something more like, yes, sir, or yes, ma'am. Also, if they're asking a question that might be a no, you want to make sure and not just say, nah, or, what you talking about, Phil? You want to say something like, no, sir, no, ma'am. Okay, now let's reset. Thanos snap.
Whoa, that was crazy. Hi, how are you today, sir?
How are you doing, my friend? No! 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 Excellent! Oh, that was splendid. You came in with confidence and good social skills. On top of all that, you look like a professional young lad. Hold on there, you two. You see, we're in the midst of a pandemic. And shaking hands and doing things like that, well, you see, that passes on germs. So during this time where we're in a pandemic, you should follow all the protocols that the CDC and all the other people have told us. So, you know, maybe not shake hands. You can let go of my hand now, though.
So, is it now time to practice those interview questions? Can we do those off screen?
Of course. Let's go to my cubicle.
Well, thank you for the interview. I don't have any more questions. I feel like I'm ready.
Well, thank you. It was wonderful speaking words with you.
Thank you. I look forward to hearing from you.
That was magnificent. You've improved so much since you first came in here. Tell me, when is your interview anyway?
Oh, it's in like 20 minutes.
What? We gotta go right now! Ah! Briskly. Walk briskly. So the reason we're leaving right now is because the next do is do show up to your interview early.
So my interview's at 2, so I'm going to show up right on time. I'm not an idiot.
I don't think you're an idiot, but it shows a lot of class when you show up a little bit early. It shows that employer that you're professional and you want to be on time. Also, you don't know what traffic's going to do. There could be a traffic jam, and then leaving a little bit early gives you that cushion to get there on time.
Okay. I'll leave early next time, but for now, I'm leaving now.
You remembered.
All right, well, thank you.
Goodbye! Oh, grown up. My little baby. He's going off to get a job. Bye! Oh, hi. Well, we learned a lot today, didn't we? Well, just so you guys remember, let's go over those do's and don'ts one more time. Well, our first do is do dress up. You don't want to look like a slob. A collared shirt and some nice pants go a long way. And for all you ladies out there, on top of all the options we just did talk about, you're also more than welcome to wear a dress or a skirt with a nice blouse. Don't dress down. Again, you don't want to look like a slob. Them pajama pants may be comfy, but they're not for an interview. And remember, do bring your resume copies. It's always good to have enough resumes that just in case you're interviewed by 4 or 5 people, you have enough. Also, do practice good hygiene skills. You want to make sure that your hair is brushed, you smell good, you've brushed your teeth, No one wants to smell your bad breath. And remember, do practice good social skills. Remember to shake the hand of each person who's interviewing you. Sit up straight like a good lad or lass. And always, always be polite. And don't forget to smile. Also, practice, practice, practice is our next due. Make sure that you have a time to practice for the interview, whether that be with a friend, in the mirror, at the grocery store. People might look at you weird if you're doing it in the grocery store, but hey, you do you. And also, be punctual. Do show up early for your interview, and don't show up late. You don't want to look like a ninny. Anywho, we'll talk to you all later. Goodbye. Thank you for watching, everyone. And bonus points to anyone who can figure out how many different outfits I've been wearing throughout this entire series.
So I'm Jessica Wright. I am the Education and Volunteer Coordinator here at the zoo. So I'm in charge of our school programs, our camps, and then all of our volunteers that come and help us out here at the zoo. Personally, I've been involved the past 5 years, but the zoo has been involved for over 15. Seeing the students get excited about the different aspects we have here at the zoo. There's a lot that goes on that people don't realize. So since we have so many jobs people don't think about, we kind of do a tour of the zoo, look at all the different areas, and they get to see different keepers doing their jobs and usually help out with a few dirty projects. Sometimes we scoop a little poop, we make some diets, usually get to do a couple fun things and see all aspects of the job. Just do your best. Show up, have a good attitude, and try your hardest. A lot of people are afraid to ask questions. They don't want to look dumb. They think it makes them not good at their job, but actually questions are really important. It's better to get the job done right and to the expectations of your boss than to just kind of make do. So definitely ask those questions, get clarification, and do the best job you can with those expectations in mind. We've really enjoyed seeing you the past few years. We're so sad you can't come to the zoo, but we are open. If you're able to come out safely, please come visit the zoo, say hi to us, and we hope to see you next year.
My name is James Clark. I'm the general manager here at Spangles on East 4th Street. "5 years. I honestly think it's at least probably 7 years since we've been doing it. The most favorite thing was being able to retain an employee after he turned 16, and he worked for me for 3 years before he moved on to something else. So it's always fun to see those students come back and want a job. It makes me feel like I've done my job to help them train a little bit. So. Be on time. If your interview's at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, be on time. Be early, actually. Don't be running late, just be prompt. running late. It's amazing how many employees get, they get into a comfort zone and they think that, oh, I'll be 5 minutes late, I'll be 10 minutes late. If you're scheduled at 11 and you're not here, I don't know if you're coming or not. So it's important to be on time as a new employee somewhere. Sure, I wish we could do this like we normally do it. It's a great benefit to myself and our company to be able to work with you students. But obviously COVID's happened, so we can't do that. I would just like to remind you to wear your mask and stay healthy, and then hopefully next year we can get back together and do this again. Thank you.
I'm Lucky Kid. I'm News and Public Affairs Director for Ad Astra Broadcasting. I've been involved as a mentor for Disability Mentoring Day for quite a few years. Don't know how many, but it's been a lot of them that I've been involved with. Well, probably my favorite memories, I get to meet a lot of very interesting people and a lot of very interesting experiences from the people that I've mentored over the years. And I've shown them some of the more interesting and more bizarre parts of what I do in a typical day, including several of them have actually gone with me out uncovering news stories. One time, I think a person I mentored, I took out to Bueller where we did a news interview, and several of them I've actually taken to court to watch what is probably the home of the greatest dumb crook stories in the world, and that is the first appearance docket that happens every morning at the courthouse. And those things can get kind of entertaining at times. Well, basically a lot of what I have the kids do is observe a lot of what I do in terms of putting together the various news programs that I do and various other things that go on to make this radio station work. And it's 4 radio stations, and a lot of stuff goes into what you actually hear on the air by the time you hear it. The biggest piece of advice that I would have for somebody going into the workforce is try to know as much as you can about as much as you can. Example, here at the radio station, if you know anything about computers, that's a big help just because of the fact that so much of what we do in this radio station, and in any radio station anymore, in any kind of business, you're going to be working with computers. You're going to be working with technology of some degree or another, some easier than others to work with. Good, tough question. Sometimes it can be a matter of, knowing a little bit about the misreading the culture of a particular business sometimes. And of course, one of the important things, and I know especially in our business, is timing is everything. Make sure you get to work on time, because that can cause a lot of problems if you aren't where you need to be, because in our industry, a lot of stuff that we do is very time critical. We got to have people here at a set time to do a set thing. Alrighty, well, unfortunately because of COVID-19 this year, we did not get to have a mentor actually come to work with me for a day, or part of a day as it usually works out, but we've enjoyed our participation in Disability Mentoring Day and want to thank you guys for letting me be a part of the virtual format we're using this year. And here at Ad Astra Radio, for those of you that are not familiar with what we are, in addition to 94.7 KSKU, in whose studio we're in right now, we also operate Kansas Rocks 100.3, KNZS, 95.9 HKFM, which is our oldies station, and Kicks Country 106, which is our country station, KXKU-FM. And we really enjoy doing a lot of the work that we do here. We do a lot of sports coverage. If you have been at a Reno County high school other than Hutch High, you have probably seen our people at football or basketball games. some cases baseball games. We also do severe weather coverage, and the major thing that I'm responsible for is when you hear a newscast on our radio station, I'm the one that does it. I write it, I produce it, and I gather pretty much everything for it. So I hope you enjoyed our visit today, and be sure to keep listening, and we hope to see you in person next year.
My name is Chico, last name is Lopez, and I'm the general manager here, and I'm also one of the owners. Pizza Ranch has been open since 2013. We've been working with the DMD program for 5 years now. I love working with anybody who has no work experience. That means anything that we teach them, that's the only thing they know. So, and we'll teach you the right way. We'll teach you the right way. I got all types of jobs that you can do. We have people that run the front of the house for us, so that'd be anything from busing, salad bar, running the registers, picking up phones. I've got people that put the chicken down. I got people that make the pizzas. I got people that wash the dishes. So we got plenty of jobs for people. I would say just have an open mind. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of anything that comes your way. We're here to work with you. So just have an open mind. Come in ready to work. Have a positive attitude. Look clean. You know, stuff like that. And then we take care of the rest. Don't worry about that. I'd say fear. Fear. Don't be afraid of making them. Don't worry about making mistakes. That's the job of leadership, is to coach people to learn from the mistake and do it the right way. So you should never be afraid of making a mistake. If you're afraid of making mistakes, you'll never do anything. So that I do not want. That's not a good thing for an employer. I want people doing stuff. So don't be afraid. We got your back there. So. Don't be afraid to come out here and eat. Our dining room is fully open. We still have pickup, we have delivery, and we look forward to seeing you guys. So just come out and check us out. My buffet prices are back there too. But hey guys, I'm very sorry that you couldn't come out this year. You know what's going on, but we are looking forward to seeing you, and we will see you next year.
Hi guys, my name's Seth. I helped put this together. I hope you liked it. And on behalf of myself and the rest of Pillar, we hope to see you next year.
I'm so sorry that you guys can't be here with us. We are kind of lost without doing DMD this year the normal way, but we hope to see everybody next year.
Sorry we couldn't see you this year, guys. Looking forward to seeing all the consumers and all the mentors. I learn so much every year from you guys, and I appreciate all the time that you take to spend with us. Best of luck. We'll see you next year.
Super sad that we're not going to be able to do it this year, but super excited to maybe do it next year.
We look forward to seeing you guys next year.
See you guys next year.
See you next year.
We'll see you next year.